And welcome inside the Bob Martinez Athletic Center on the campus of the University of Tampa in Tampa, Florida. It's the home of the Division II Women's Volleyball Championship, and it's semifinal Friday. The first match of the evening, Western Washington taking on Washburn. Taking a look at the brackets as how we've reached this point. Washburn with a victorious day against West Texas A&M, 3-1. Western Washington, it was a short afternoon for the Vikings. They took care of Damon 3-0. And good evening, everyone. I'm Leah Secondo alongside Deb Hendrick. And Deb, as we think about what happened yesterday and the team's prep for this semifinal Friday, some of your takes on getting that first match under their belts.
Oh, you know, I've been here, and it's just the best feeling to get the nerves out, get out and move around, get a win under your belt and advance. And so for these teams, I think they've got the hardest part over with, and now they just have to settle in and really be the best version of themselves they can.
For Washburn, taking a look at their trek into the semifinals against West Texas A&M, they took care of that first set. It was tight. It was back and forth pretty much that first set. They won the first set 25-22 and then won the second. They never trailed in the second, but hit a little bit of a roadblock in that third.
Well, you just began to see West Texas get a few more slows, defensive transitions for point, and you know they found a little bit of an answer. You see Maxwell right there. That was the hardest part, is finding the answer for her, and ultimately by the time they got to the fourth set, Washburn just had a little more in the tank.
That's right, 25-21 in that fourth, winning it 3-1. 16 kills yesterday in a block for Allison Maxwell. She's one of the key players for Washburn as they head into the semifinals.
You know, it's a really balanced offense. They've got several players that can put the ball away, but I know Western Washington is really going to have to know where Allison is. She's a natural middle, but she'll swing from the left and the right pin as well, so they're going to have to track her and at least slow her down today.
For Western Washington, the Vikings come in. They do not have a senior on their squad. They looked polished and quick and easy and played with a lot of flow yesterday, just looked very comfortable.
They had a great offense, 435 attack efficiency as a team, siding out at 81%. I mean, this was just huge numbers, and they really stifled the Damon offense. So, I feel like maybe they might be just a little bit fresher today as a result of getting out in three. But I think they know they've got a big challenge in front of them.
And their key player that we'll watch this evening is the sophomore at 6'1" from Auburn, Washington, Callie Heilborn.
Yeah, Heilborn was just outstanding. And, they also have other players that can put the ball away, but Washburn's going to have to find a way to slow her down as well. I think we're in for some really big efforts out of the left sides for both of these teams. But it'll be interesting to see how Heilborn shows up after yesterday's effort.
So we're underway here in Tampa. So glad you could join us. Semifinal match number 1. Washburn and Western Washington. And coming up at 7:30 tonight, semifinal number 2 between Gannon and the top seed in Tampa. Faced Brodinghouse there, the libero in the white jersey, recognized prior to yesterday's first round matches. The Elite 90 award winner for the highest GPA. And the senior hoping to lead her squad into Saturday's final. But Western Washington will serve first. And we talk about the jitters.
Yes, they may have some today as well.
Yeah.
It's interesting because Coach Diane Flick-Williams talked about serving just a little bit. And that was, if there was anything that they were not as strong about yesterday, it was their serving. They need to be aggressive, keep the errors low.
Good set from the outside. Nice block at the net. And it's out. You know, the other thing, too, Deb was thinking about, just getting accustomed to the environment. There's one thing to get out on this court, and time is limited. It's not your typical practice times. You have about, 90 minutes total just to kind of get a feel of the court. Now, obviously, Tampa has the upper hand in that piece. But, just I think getting acclimated in the surroundings with that, too, that play into effect when you're playing in an arena like this?
It sure does, and that's why all of these teams that remain took their practices today. They're, especially for serve and pass, that's the aspect that it does take a little bit of getting used to, because no two gyms are usually the same. So they take their serve and pass practices each day to just kind of revisit the feeling of the gym.
Nice job on the serve, and good control once again, and much in part the way that Western Washington started against Damon. They continue it here, 3-1. Heilborn will serve for her second opportunity for a point. Rottinghouse, and it's long.
Washburn with a few early errors here. I'm not surprised by that. I think they may have a little bit of nerves and just need to settle in.
Heilborn says, "Don't come at me. I got this." Nice cross quarter. 4-2. Antonowicz serving for Washburn. Nice put back. Just Cup in that front line is so intimidating with their long arms up front.
They are big and they are physical. Both of these teams are physical at the net. Just a little reminiscent of the start yesterday for the Vikings. And, these don't even look like particularly aggressive service errors. I know Diane Flick-Williams wants them to be aggressive serving. They've got to do that to break down a little bit of this powerhouse offense for Washburn. But I know she also trusts her defense, and they need to just put the ball in play, defend.
Oof. No chance at all. Heilborn saying, "I've got it next time." And suddenly it's 5-4. Stevenson serves.
That kill by Chloe Ritzesinder. She is the twin of Tess Biskup, the right side. She got married this summer, thus the name change.
Luongo with her first serve of the game. And there has just not been an answer to those strong shots towards the back line of Western Washington.
We talked about Maxwell at the top of the show, but Jenna Berg, you just can't say enough good things about her. And we talk about her slight build and how deceptive that is, because she is a hammer.
Pascal. Nice job as it comes back. And Ritzender with the point, 7-5. Substitutions for Washburn. Rottinghouse comes back in, 7-5. Nice job once again. They are on their toes. That was And a jump in the backcourt, and it's tipped. 7-6. Some hard-hit balls here right now.
It's just a huge back row swing here from Jalen. The defense split the court as they should, and she just hit right there through the middle of the court.
Allison Sadler now stepping back in to serve, the senior from Parkville. Net. 7-all.
Well, I think both of these teams know they have to serve tough tonight. And the high risk, high reward concept, most coaches subscribe to it. But again, you know, if you're going to miss, you want to miss long, so you're at least giving the serve receive something to think about.
Rich Sender serving for the Vikings. And the big swing, and it knocked back by Fitzgibbons. That brings Jenna Berg up to serve now for Washburn. Ooh, no chance at all from Gunterman to make a dig on that one.
I do expect to see the ball set to the left side a lot by Washburn. It's a little bit of a mismatch. Aliaga is an undersized setter, and so I think they're going to attack the mismatch there.
Right at Berg, who was ready this time. A little tap over and a little bit too aggressive coming over. Point back to Western Washington, all tied at 9. Great movement of the ball, and again to the back, and the kill there for Kelsey Gordon.
In the first part of that play, we actually saw a roll shot onto Aliaga, and now they're attacking the right back where Aliaga is on defense. They want her to play the first ball. That immediately puts Western Washington out of system.
Largest lead for Washburn here in the first. 11-9 now with Rottinghouse serving. Great hustle on both sides. The double team up front. Biscup, Fairchild there. (11-10).
Good talk. You know, that's one of the things you teach early is helping your passer with in and out. Jenna Berg was all over it.
Taylor Antonowicz. Here's the set. Rocks it and rocks it out. It's a little bit too hard.
Well, it'll be a big deal for Washburn to slow Gabby Gunterman down. First team All-American. She's been a big part of this program a long time. You know, they know that in addition to slowing down Halborn, they've got to do something about Gunterman.
Tonowicz with the ace. And that forces Western Washington into a timeout. largest lead of this first set for Washburn, and we will step. Welcome back to Tampa, Florida. Short sleeves, it's all part of the process here in December when you're trying to crown a champion in women's Division II volleyball. Leah Secondo, Deb Hendrick with you here on day 2 of the semifinals. Western Washington forced into that timeout. Deb, they don't seem as crisp as they did on Thursday in their quarterfinal match.
Well, that has a lot to do with Washburn right now, and I think they've come in with a great game plan of the very specific things they're going to attack with this defense for the Vikings, and they're doing a good job of that.
Out of the timeout, Washburn serving. And the point out of the timeout, that's what you want. You want to be able to get that flow back, get some good feeling back as Casey Woodruff now will step back to serve.
This is a tough out-of-system swing for Biscup. She did a nice job to score with that.
Woodruff going at Stevenson there. Nice job by Gunterman, and the big swing by Biscup can't get it. Aliaga sets it up, and is it in? It is. Much better movement and finish by Gunterman on that series. Nice job on a dig there by Biscup on the outside. Gunterman, was it tipped? Yes, it was.
Oh, she's being overruled. The line judge is being overruled by the up official.
Let's see if they'll take a look at it.
Diane Flick-Williams has used the challenge. I didn't see her actually grab the card.
So they'll have several different angles to take a look at it here. And as they do, Deb, let's review the challenge rules.
Well, at the beginning of the match, each team is given 3 challenges. If the match were to go 5 sets, each team receives an additional challenge in the 5th. Once you use a challenge, you lose the challenge, regardless of the outcome. Things that can be challenged include in or out, touch, which is what's being challenged right now. It's whether that ball was touched by the block on the way out of bounds, 4 or more contacts, illegal block or illegal attack, net or antenna contact, which would be a fault, and then service footfalls. Illegal back row attack is the main one they evaluate as far as that illegal attack. So again, you know, they have all these different things that can be, most often we're looking at in, out, and touch, or contact with the net. But there has to be conclusive evidence, and they do, as you mentioned, have different angles and different equipment that they're actually using, which may even be clearer than our system. But the bottom line is they have to have conclusive evidence to overturn the ruling on the floor. Well, the complication here is that the line judge ruled a touch, and the R1, the up official, overruled that, and he's saying there is no touch. So that's what's being challenged.
Luis Martinez is the R1. Tom Ulibari is the R2. And not only do they have that angle, but there's a great angle right off of the net.
The net cam. Mm-hmm. Now, the net cam would be invaluable right here. From what we have, we can't really see. You know, you're looking for any kind of like a movement of the finger or a hand pulling off the net a little bit or something like that. We don't see anything, but the net cam may be revealing much more. I believe they have made a decision. The R2 is communicating with the score table. And so they're They're ruling that the challenge is not effective.
Not effective.
Yes.
They lose the challenge.
The call on the floor stands.
So Western Washington will lose their challenge and the serve to Washburn, 15-12. Jalen Stevenson, the freshman from Spring Hill, Kansas, to serve, up by 3. Aliaga sets it up, and it's tipped. Point back to the Vikings. They'll make a change. Luloga will come in.
Absolutely imperative that Western Washington run a diverse offense. They were a little outside heavy last night. They've got to use the middles like they did right there.
Lulogo.
It's a Cinder showing that she's capable on both the offense and defensive side of the ball.
It was Tupu in the quarterfinals who had several solid serves and a little dump. They carry that ball.
Allison Sadler's not that offensive minded, but she does have a real knack for the right timing.
(16-14) now. Aliaga goes to Gunterman on the outside, gets it in. Loves to run down that line when she has the opportunity, and great vision to see that the line was open. (16-15) Washburn. Gabby Gunterman serving. Berg, and it's tipped. Point to Washburn. Solid traveling group and a contingent from Topeka, Kansas, home of Washburn University.
You know, this is a team that made it all the way, Washburn, that made it all the way to the semifinal in 2018. And they have every super senior back from that team. So you know those traveling here have very high expectations for what's going to happen here.
It's a business trip. It's a business trip to Tampa. 17-16, the double team. Nice dig by Gunterman to keep it alive. The response by Washburn, point off the double hit to Washburn.
There are a few people that didn't like that call, but I mean, I think that's a good call. I think they've established they're going to call the ball handling fairly tight. As long as they're consistent throughout the match and calling it tight, I think the coaches can live with that.
Sadler and Woodruff back in for the Vikings, and they read it well. Good eyes. The serve will go back with Aliaga set to serve. Oof. Nice job by Woodruff. Right at the net. And a good job and a strong hit by Fitzgibbons.
She just pushed this one right through the block. The double block is there. Little late maybe by Biscup.
Good effort there by Aliaga with the point. Goes to Washburn. 20-17 now for the Ichabods. Woodruff to the outside. And the point goes back to the Vikings. Wasn't pretty, but they'll take it. The sophomore Washburn will serve now, trailing by 2. It's long.
Jalen Stevenson's just a freshman. This is the biggest match she's been in. She's surrounded by a lot of experience, though, and I'm sure it's warm water for her to play in.
Nice job by Washburn in the back. Rodinghouse setting it up for the outside. Oh! One-handed effort there, but it cannot find its way over to the net.
Kelsey Gordon is just another of the many weapons Washburn has in system. They're just tough to stop. And if the setter's dumping a little bit, they really have 3 options all the time on the front row.
Tanowicz gets it over. Eliaga. Biscup with a big one right at Antonowicz. And a response, and it falls in. The Ichabods are smelling victory here in set 1. The Vikings looking to break that up. We will step aside. 22-19 here in the first. Welcome back to Tampa, Florida. Chris Herron is 20th of the season, trying to bring home a national championship to Washburn University, and his squad is just one day away from that opportunity here. They lead it in the first 22-19. They've been pretty consistent and flowing along in this first set.
They have. They've been using different attackers a little bit more than they did yesterday, and I think that was probably smart. They knew who Western Washington prepared for.
Gunterman right at Rodinghouse, and the answer and the response at the net. If the first time doesn't work, try again with Stevenson. It bounces around, still a live ball. Eliaga sets it up for Heilborn. Great job by Berg to save it. Oh, and it goes under. That won't count, but what a rally.
You know, interesting, Maxwell, who just played unbelievable yesterday, she's got 1 kill, hitting 0 in this first set. Western Washington prepared well for her.
Debbie referring to number 8 in the dark blue jersey on the outside here and hitting it. She'll try again. No, it's a fake. They go to Stevenson. Nice job by Washburn to save it, track it, and save it down. Well, you mentioned Allison Maxwell, and quickly she's touched the ball like 10 times since then. Eliaga. Biscuit on the outside, it's out. Overruled. Said it was tipped.
That's going to be challenged immediately. This is such a critical juncture in the set. You know, going back to Maxwell, she's interesting. You know, she plays middle, so you're going to see her run slide. You're going to see her hit in the middle of the floor. But they also, in serve receive, they use her at both the left pin and the right pin. So in that last play, she actually swung on the left side in serve receive. Then she came to the middle. Western Washington has to track her. You know, they know that she's capable of hitting from just about anywhere on the floor. And they have, honestly, done a very nice job so far of slowing her down. But there's a lot of volleyball left here.
Absolutely. See what they're kind of taking a look at on the replay for this challenge.
Well, I believe that touch was called, and then it was overruled. You know, there's a lot of conversation about this right here. Here we are in the 20s. There's a lot of good flow going on both sides. It's been very, very competitive. And then you have this slowing of the match. Does this disrupt flow? And, you know, I've talked to coaches. I've talked to officials. Most people say, you know, it's worth it because we want to get it right, especially when you're on this stage.
Right.
They want, even the officials are like, we want to get it right for the athletes and the coaches and the game. So, you know, most people feel like it's an okay trade-off, but that's why there's so many limited challenges, is because we do see this kind of stoppage of play, and it can be a little disruptive.
So, well, going along with that, do you think that they would ever consider a time limit?
Well, I mean, it depends on who's running your system. So I have been sitting near that process, and in some places it's a much more efficient system.
Right.
So
there's
they can
be
go
good communication between you and the person that's running the replay.
Sure, and
Yeah,
you know, he's looking at different angles, and he's saying, well, let me see that one again, and then they have to get it teed up again. And, and you know, some people have better equipment than others, and that process can happen faster. So unfortunately, especially in the programs and at the level where there are fewer resources for this type of thing, it may be hard to put a time limit on it. And again, I think he's going to take as much time as he needs because this is a critical point.
Decision appears to have been made.
So the call on the floor stands.
So both teams on their challenges have lost their challenges.
They have.
Yeah. Casey Woodruff will step back now to serve as the Vikings trail here by 1. Heilborn out of the back. Nice job by Berg. Eliaga goes to the outside to Gunterman, and what a save there. Protecting your face was Antonowicz. Oh, what a dig. Great effort by both sides.
Yeah, just a little miscommunication there at the end by the Western Washington defense, but great overall rally.
Totally. 23-21 now. Serve goes back to Washburn. And Jalen Stevenson can close it out. The door is open once again. And the logo comes in to serve. Rockets out. Set point for Washburn now.
Well, Logo's a tough server, and I mean, really, for this entire set, the Washburn serve receive, they have been putting the ball right on Sadler. Great job.
Gunderman goes cross, and rips it right down. No chance at all for Jalen Stevenson to come away.
So you're seeing a substitution right now. Aliaga's coming out. They're looking for just a little bit bigger block on the right side against this serve receive for Washburn.
Gabby Kepley comes in, the redshirt freshman, wearing number 11. Berg kept alive by Kepley. Nice job by Roddinghouse. And they go the opposite way for the deception. How about that by Washburn? Finishes it off.
Just got the touch.
So Washburn holds on here to take the first set, 25-23. Don't go too far away, the second set, after these messages on ncaa.com. first set. Washburn is really attacking, and Fitzgibbons finding that spot in the back line in the middle. A little bit too hard, and it's out.
I like that different look using Biscuit on the left side of the floor, left middle of the floor.
And it's in! How about Jenna Berg threading the ace?
It's interesting. I didn't feel like either team served as aggressively as they're capable of in that first set. This is more what I really expect to see both of these teams pull out the stops at the service line.
Nice job by Woodruff. Rottinghouse keeps it alive. They go to the same spot, a little too hard. Ball is out, and suddenly it is 4-0. Biscuit, little tap, trying to show a little deception. Going right at Gunterman. Heilborn finds it. And she'll step back to serve. The Vikings trailing 4-1. Wow. What a rocket from the outside by Gabby Gunterman.
Yeah, and a great bump set here for the assist from Lalogo. She just set her up perfectly.
Western Washington knew exactly where they were going with that ball. Olivia Fairchild turning around to Eliagan saying, great set. 4-3.
Serving still a little bit of an Achilles heel for Western Washington. I've watched them in practice. They can serve bullets. But not only are they not serving as aggressive, they're a little high error again today.
Gunnerman, difficult angle as that was coming off the back. Woodruff did all she could to track that one down. So now it goes back to Rottinghouse for the serve. Faith. Nice job by Berg in the back.
You're not going to see that very often by Sadler. But they established early they're going to call the ball handling tight. You know, Washburn's had two servers so far, and both of them stepped back there and served really tough. They have the Western Washington serve receive completely out of system.
7-4. Little help there. And it's in.
And Washburn is getting easier serving and putting the ball right on the setter. And then you know what Maxwell can do when she's in system getting these kinds of one-on-one opportunities. So, you know, we talk a lot about the serve and pass game at every level, whether you're a 12-year-old starting out or you're on the national team. The team that wins serve and pass usually wins the match.
Gunnerman going right at Stevenson there. No answer for that tall front line led by Tess Biscup. And with that, Lalogo will come back in to serve. Coach Heron shouting out some instructions for his front line and Allison Maxwell. Rottinghouse with the setup, and nicely done. It looked like it was going to be set by Sadler. She saw something there, recognized it, just tipped it over the top. 9-5.
Now this is a tight pass. The block should be up with that.
Oof, right at Rottinghouse. Sadler. Eliaga setting up Gunter. Point to Washburn off the double hit. 10-5.
Well, we're looking at two really high-level setters right here who, you know, are mishandling the ball a little bit, but they're just going to have to get cleaner.
3 errors by, and that's out. 3 errors by Western Washington just in this second set alone. 11-5. Washburn with a 6-point lead right now over Western Washington. And during that timeout, Coach Heron having a bit of a conversation with Allison Maxwell up front, attacking the net. And they have done a great job consistently just kind of moving the ball from side to side and really picking apart this solid Viking team defensively. Heilborn is tipped at the net. Sadler, Berg. Double hit called on Woodruff.
I think it was a blocking error.
Blocking error?
Yeah, I think it was on Ritzesender. The 2 was for 12.
12-5 now. Ooh. Right back.
These are tough
Tight.
rotations with Aliaga on the front row. There's only 2 attackers, and it allows Washburn to double up, put a double block on one of the attackers. So Western Washington needs to spread right now. They don't need to run anything in the middle of the floor.
Berg and Maxwell playing tight up front. That was a little long. So ball will go back to the Vikings. Oof. Berg will have a second chance and finds the spot just in front of Gunterman. Fitzgibbons will come back in. Berg up front. And along with that, Chloe Pascal now will serve. Runs it down the back line. Catching a break. Boy, they had fingertips written all over it. And a timeout, a must timeout taken by the Vikings. And we will step aside as well here on NCAA.com. Chris Heron in his 20th season at Washburn. So impressive, over 530 wins, and what he has done with 5 MIAA titles, and trying to, this weekend with this group, take a national championship back to Kansas. Never had a losing season. Has been in the upper echelon ever since coming to Washburn. Sadler, here's Berg on the outside. Boy, that rolled along the antenna. Largest lead now for the Ichabods.
I put a lot of credit to this lead on how tough they are serving. Well, and that miss, I can assure you, Chris Herron's like, I'll take that for all the damage we've done in this set.
Absolutely. Pascal will come out, and Rottinghouse will come back in. Chloe Richardsender will serve. Very uncharacteristic, as Woodruff now will enter back in the lineup for Western Washington, moving into that back line. Logo thought that maybe it was too much of a gap, little miscommunication in that back line between she and Gunterman. Allison Sadler now to serve, 5'9" senior. Time to take it just maybe a little bit more of a breath. Easy to say when the emotions are flowing. A little bit long.
Well, a couple errors here by Washburn, and you start to open the door just a crack.
I thought maybe that it had nipped off a finger, but no call. Eliaga now back to serve. Wow! Stop, drop, and roll, and duck. And that one somehow nips out.
This is just a tough night from the service line for one of these teams. You know, it would be oversimplified to say this match is being won at the service line right now, but Western Washington just can't get anything going.
Heilberg tried to keep it alive. We saw it work last evening. Kelly Hunrud comes in for the Vikings with Berg back to serve. Oh, no chance out of the reach of Aliaga.
You know, Berg got us started in this set, serving just like this. And it may very well be that he started her as the first server just to get them off to such a strong start in the set.
Right. 21-9, Jenna Berg.
Diane Flick-Williams looking for any solution right now to the serve-receive troubles. But so much of this is Berg. She's just got such a tough floater.
That's a great shot there from the net cam. You could see as Berg, Aliaga, Heilberg, and saying let's go. 22-10. Right at Stevenson. Oh, nice job with the double team at the net. I believe Fitzgibbon's got a hand on it. Big swing. Sadler with the set back up, and it's set back down in the space there where Gordon was, unfortunately, for Washburn.
This is a nice job blocking here. And I think for Western Washington, I wouldn't say they can't come back from this deficit, but what they really want to do is gain some momentum as they move into that third set. Get some positive points here.
Biskup right at Sadler, though. She was ready for it. Stevenson is there. Gunterman pushes it along. Can they save it? No, they cannot. Great effort by Rottinghouse and Berg.
Gunterman's had a lot of success with that line. She's taken big swings. That was more of a power tip down the line. Washburn's clearly giving it to her. There's Maxwell. That's only her third kill of the match so far. But this is what she's capable of when they're in system. And
Rottinghouse. Biskup, and it was tipped. Point back to the Vikings. Steven said, yeah, I tipped it. Just a little bit off the top of my finger. So the serve back to Woodruff now, and Cassie. Points again. 23-14, some work here to be done by the Vikings. Do they have the rally in them here in the second, with Washburn having already taken the first set? And it's in. Actually, it's out. They say it's out.
so you can see Maxwell's saying they felt like it grazed a shoulder. And she is telling Chris Herron to challenge this. I don't know personally if I would as a coach, because you're up 23-15. You don't know what's going to happen for the rest of the match, and I think he might be leaving it alone for the same reason, yeah.
23-15, so Woodruff will serve. 2 consecutive points thus far. And that too is long. No question about that.
Nope. You know, it's interesting. I've watched this process and how coaches interact with their players regarding the challenges, and they really do lean on them. And I think he would have challenged that had it been a close situation, a critical situation. They really look to the players to give them advice as to whether to use or not use the challenges.
That one's in. Set point for Washburn. And they will leave it in the hands of Taylor Antonowicz. She started off the serving for the Ickabogs, and oh my goodness. Service error. Just in.
That was what Western Washington needed like about 20, 30 points ago. Lalogo is a very tough server.
Yep. First ace for Lalogo. Sadler with the setup to Stevenson. And a little bit of a run here by the Vikings. 24-19, and with that, The Ichabod's want a timeout.
Well, I think this is a smart timeout by Chris Herron because, you know, I've seen comebacks in this situation. Not very often, and the way Washburn's playing, I don't think it's going to happen. But he doesn't need to put his team in any kind of a pressure situation right now. They need to get one serve-receive play called. They've been passing really well. They need to run that play effectively and get out of this set. And I'm sure he gave them exactly the play he wants them to run right now.
Well, and I think it's interesting, too. He spoke maybe about 10 seconds of that timeout, left the huddle, and is now allowing his players to do the talking, which that, too, is important at times.
Yeah, they need to take a collective breath. You know, they are completely in control of this set. He did also pull Sadler aside. I'm sure he told her who he wants, not only what play they're running, who he wants her to set. Coaches typically let their setters go. When they have the kind of experience Sadler has, they let them run the offense. But on these types of occasions, sometimes it helps a setter for the coach to just put the play in.
And assistant coach Shayla Connor was, you know, talking to the players quite a bit, but the majority of the talking was coming from the players amongst themselves at this point. So 24-19. Washburn, Lalogo serving. She has served 3 consecutive points for the Vikings, and a great ball. Great ball.
Well, this is the way I would have liked to seen Western Washington come out serving, and they just haven't had a rhythm until now, but maybe this will trigger it.
Nice deception. Everyone expected Aliaga to set it up. And with that, another timeout. Suddenly, it's a 3-point game. It's actually a 5-0 run by the Vikings right now. They trail it 24-21 by 3. And out of the timeout, let's see how Chris Herron's team responds.
A lot of the credit for the last 5 points goes to this young lady right here. She's been putting some pressure on that serve receive.
Sadler with the setup to the outside, getting in that big swing arm of Allison Maxwell. And we are now, for Washburn, just 1 game away from seeing the Ichabods move on to the championship round. We will step aside here and be back with set number 3 after these messages, only on up against Western Washington. And despite that late run by the Vikings, once again, Washburn really in control and dictating the tempo on their slides and finishing.
Absolutely, they were in system. You can just see right there, nearly every ball was right on Sadler. So Sadler can run anything she wants to run, and that's when setters can really do what they do best, and that's move the ball around and include a lot of different attackers and keep the block guessing. And you know, once you start to be even moderately out of system, even pushed to the 10-foot line, well, that changes and double blocks can be created. The problem for the Vikings has been they haven't served tough enough to get Washburn out of system. If they start that, look like Lalogo got something going there, and if they start to get a little better at the service line, being more aggressive, they could create some problems for Washburn. But if Washburn continues to be in system that much, their offense is just too good.
Allison Sadler, who you referred to, number 12, with 21 assists thus far in this match. Jenna Berg, number 1 in dark blue for Washburn, 7 kills to lead the way as we are set to go in set number 3. Cassie Woodruff will serve for Western Washington. They need this to go 5 to keep their season alive.
Blocking error by Gunterman there.
Oof. Nice job by Gabby Gunterman.
I love that set by Malia Aliaga, going right back to Gunterman after she made the error and letting her, take care of business.
GNAC Player of the Year, 1-1. Lalogo will serve. And the response. I would like to see the chart, the scouting chart, of balls where Washburn has garnered points tonight. That area of the floor has been golden for the Ichabod's. And Tanowicz to serve now, up 2-1. Rottinghouse setting up the outside.
The rotations with Aliaga on the front row, the 5-1 rotations, have been a little bit tough for Western Washington tonight. They've just had a hard time getting themselves against a lot of double block situations.
Wow, that one falls in. Took a chance with the Vikings, 4-1. And Tanowicz now. Aliaga with the set to Gunterman. Right at Maxwell, it bounces, and the ball bounces in favor of the Vikings. The junior from Lake Stevens, Washington with the serve. Maxwell with the authoritative kill.
From the left side this time.
Wow.
I will say Gunterman served a pretty tough ball right there. Washburn's just passing nails.
Somehow that slipped through. The first time didn't work against the double team. But just got by Maxwell. 5-3. Ritson Sender, and it's in.
Already you sense Western Washington has come out with a different mind frame regarding their serving. I think it's going to pay them dividends. If they get it over. Oh, I know this is so frustrating for this team. Get a little something going and then shoot yourself in the foot. And as a coach, I've been on their side of this many nights.
Yeah. And of course, right as soon as you say it. Chloe Pascal with the serve, heads up. Good hustle by Woodruff right in front of us. Berg. Great effort by both teams. Right at the net. And it was Olivia Fairchild who definitely was the difference there, as Tess Biskup is waiting to come back in on that front line right now. I'll be joined by Fairchild and Heilborn. Tanowicz somehow got a handle on that.
Western Washington, they've got Aliaga back. They've got 3 attackers on the front row. These are the rotations they have to start scoring some points in at the service line, but Washburn's just too tough.
Sadler goes to the outside to Berg, and what a swing. All power.
Again, you know, she's slight, but she brings so much heat. I mean, the libero can't handle the ball. Right on her.
At the net. Everyone's turning it up just a little bit hotter here right now.
Well, the Vikings are playing for their season right now.
Some perspiration out on the court.
The Vikings are playing for their season, but you know, going back to the press conferences on Wednesday, there was a tone in both Chris Herron and the players of that they were very much on a mission. They were talking about the 2018 season and the super seniors that were back and how they've been focused on this all season long. And, you know, teams on a mission are tough.
In that second set, there were no lead changes at all. And they just continue to keep the pedal to the metal that whole time. They have done so here. The Vikings have opened the door a couple of times and shown what they can do with their serves. But the consistency of the Ickabags throughout this match has really prevailed. Now at 8-7 here in the third, could this be the defining moment that the Vikings need? There's a ton of work to be done. Could it rest on Washburn? Wow. Now the bench is alive.
Well, there is a ton of work to be done, but you know, these athletes at this level, they know you take it 1 point at a time.
Absolutely. 8-all. And it's in. 4-0 run for the Vikings. Sandler setting it up for Berg. Right at Washburn, and it's out.
I'm impressed by Washburn's composure. You know, they just are unfazed. You put a little pressure on them, they stay unfazed. They respond.
Largely in part with their veteran contingent back. (10-9) Vikings. Look out, Biscup there with that big swing. Coming at you again.
She's been looking mostly cross court tonight, but this one, she just rips down the line.
Gunterman. Sadler with the setup to the outside. And a much needed point. Kelsey Gordon finishing it off for Washburn.
Kelsey Gordon got in the net at the end of this. You'll see her get in the net, and she thought Oh man, I'm in the net, but the ball was down first. And because and this is what I think Diane Flick-Williams is
just
questioning.
making sure.
As long as the ball's down first and then you get in the net, it's okay. But she looked guilty as sin.
Yeah, totally. Totally. And trying to be all nonchalant about it.
Let me peel myself off the net now.
Yeah. 11-10, Vikings. Rottinghouse. Gordon. Oh, Maxwell was there for the easy putback. $11-all. And Rottinghouse now back to serve. Faith. Good communication by both teams. Whoa! You know, it rolled around Gunterman. She had all she could do to protect herself, and it just came off of her arm, allowing Washburn to put that back down. I believe it was Kelsey Gordon.
Yep, she's just ready and emotional.
Yeah, that's right. Let's go. 12-11. Nice save. Great effort by both teams, and it was Biscup at the end with the point. Woo. Allison Maxwell came out of nowhere.
She's looking at a double block, but I think she went right over the top of Aliaga, and I looked for them to capitalize on that matchup as much as they could.
Wow.
Back to creating some problems for the serve-receive again. Western Washington was getting into a little bit of a rhythm, but I tell you, every one of these Washburn servers can create trouble.
And continuing to create trouble right now. 15-12, a run by the Ichabods. We will step aside here. Welcome back to Tampa, Florida. And the Washburn Ichabods on a 4-0 run right now. And they've been able to get back into this game. The Vikings keep knocking on the door. The fans are standing from Topeka, Kansas. Western Washington also traveling very well here to Tampa. Taylor Antonowicz will serve off of the run. Right in the spot, 16-12. Jalen Stevenson with the put down. Kept alive, free ball. Gunterman had it written all over it. Trailing by 3. It'll be Gunterman to serve.
That is the second time the R1 has taken one off the face today.
Yep.
Bless his heart.
Good thing for the mask almost in that sense, right? But you've also got a whistle in your mouth too.
Yeah, he just, this one comes off the hands of Aliaga and gets him right in the face.
Gonna take a little bit of a second.
I mean, you know, players get hit by the ball all the time and have concussions.
Yeah.
I think he got hit more in the chin area, it looked like. But, you know, the pace of this ball as it's attacked and coming off those hands, and it was such a bang-bang right there in front of him. He got clocked pretty good.
And the spin, no question. He's actually going to come down.
Yeah. There's a couple of things that can happen here. They do have other officials.
Right.
They may just be giving him enough time to kind of regroup. They could move the R1, the R2 up to the R1 if he feels well enough to do the R2 responsibilities. But there are other officials in this crew that came that in a pinch can come in. It looks to me like he's going to try to make a go of it.
Luis Martinez, the R1. Tom Libari, the R2. Just taking a little bit of extra time here. It's like an umpire in baseball getting hit with a foul tip. You think you're okay.
Sometimes you just need a minute.
Just need a sec. Yeah.
All eyes are on you, right?
Absolutely. Sadler goes to Berg on the outside. And that just had a whole different funky feel of the whole scenario at that point.
Well, we're getting back into the floor wiping.
Yeah. We commend the staff and the crew and everyone involved, the NCAA Division II committee. They have done a spectacular job making these student athletes feel extremely special as they are over the last 5 days here in Tampa. Great setting for this Division II championship. Goes to the other side to Berg. Nice job by Woodruff on the dig. Coming back to Berg again. Met by Biscup at the net. Check that's at Ritzensender. What a rally. And the point goes to the Vikings.
Heilborn doing all she can to keep this team alive. She was really good yesterday, too.
Fairchild coming back in. Gabby Kepley coming back in. And 18:50 now as Adele Holland will go back to serve the freshman, the true freshman. First true freshman that the Vikings have had in their lineup going back to the 2011-12 season. Off of Berg's fingertips. Coming back at her again, no answer at all at the net. Nicely done by Kepley and Fairchild. And a timeout taken with it, 18-16. Welcome back. Vikings on a little bit of a run here, thus the reason why the Ichabod's calling the timeout. Del Holland back to serve on this run as her squad trails by 2 here in the third set. They need to win it out to have an opportunity to continue on and play for a championship here in Tampa. Oh, and a break. You take it.
Western Washington has flashed into a 6-2 here real quick with Holland setting and Kepley as the right side. This would be Aliaga if they were in the 5-1. So they've gained a bigger block and an extra attacker here.
Maxwell has it rejected back. Going to Heilborn on the opposite side and a break.
So we'll see Western Washington go back into the 5-1 here. But I think they got what they wanted out of that. I believe they scored 3 points with the Holland and Kepley combo there. So that was a good tactical adjustment.
Patchell's long. Doors open back up as Eliaga will set back to serve. Roddinghouse and Maxwell talked about coming back in. She had to step aside. There you go. Kept it going to the outside. Kilborn. Sandler to Berg. That's Biskup. Test back in the lineup. Big swing, and we're tied at 19.
You're starting to see Western Washington get a few more slows up at the net, and then they're doing a good job with their defensive transitions. They're chipping away here.
Eliaga with the big breath. And it's long. May have gotten into Jenna Berg's head a little bit. She has not been able to get over the top of Fairchild or Biskup. Down the line, diagonal, and now the Vikings with a 22-19 lead. That's in. 20 all. Kelsey Gordon comes back in. Tonowich goes out. And Allison Sandler back to serve. And it's in. Catches a tip.
Had a little crossing play there with Heilborn coming into the middle of the floor. You know, she's usually out on the left side, so that was a nice different look to show the Washburn defense.
Nice dig. Good protection there and no response at all off of Olivia Fairchild. Timeout taken by Washburn as they now trail by 2. The Vikings saying, we're not ready to go home yet, folks.
No, I'm very impressed with their grit right now, and I think that's the best way to describe it because, I mean, they had one foot in the grave a little while ago with the way Washburn was playing and the momentum they had, and, you know, I think they upped things a little bit at the service line. They've been getting a few more block slows at the net and then doing good things with those opportunities, and then, you know, you can feel that their offense is starting to find a little bit more of a rhythm as a result.
Coming up at 7:30, roughly, depending on the ending time, of this match, it'll be the top seed Tampa taking on Gannon. Can't make it here in person. Catch all the action on NCAA.com as well. And then our championship will be Saturday, tomorrow, at 5 p.m. right here at the Martinez Center. The Vikings 3 points away from taking this third set. Kilborn takes a deep breath as she serves. And the point goes to the Vikings, 23-20 now. Western Washington fans trying to spur on their team. Gunterman met at the net and a much needed point. I believe it was Gabby Kepley who got a hand on it. If it wasn't Kepley, here's Berg. Washburn trails by 3. Make that 4.
That's huge to get out of that rotation because Berg has been scoring multiple points every time she's been back there serving.
Woodruff serving now for the set. Oh, right down the line by Gordon. Shows a lot of emotion. And the kinesiology major in Rottinghouse serves. Little hesitation there. Aliaga, right at Bishop, great job. Try it again. Oh, what a super effort by both sides of the ball.
That was incredible defense by Washburn.
Timeout taken. And we will step aside as well here on Welcome back to Tampa, Florida. Timeout taken by the Vikings. As Washburn coming away with the points. 24-23. Faith Rottinghouse serving. Aliaga, they go to Visca. Triple team there at the side, and guess what? On a tip ball, we're tied at 24. Whoa! How about that? The big one here for the Ickabuds. Their fans on their feet. Here we go, back and forth.
I thought Faith Rottinghouse did a really good job of being aggressive back there, and great swing right there by Gunterman to put him back into a tie.
25 all. Fans are up, the fans are down. The fans are up, the fans are down.
That's right. This is what we expected.
Exactly. Lalogo now to serve. Ever so tough. They go the opposite way. Kelsey Gord has been solid on that outside. She'll be subbed in.
She's so good off one foot as a right side.
How about that?
Tough to stop.
Taylor Antonowicz now back to serve. And it's tipped. Point to the Vikings. Center. Tied at 27. Sadler to Berg. Vikings have had the answer to that at the net.
Great stop by the setter Aliaga. They came after her for the mismatch, and she blocked that ball back over. That wasn't how they scored the point, but she definitely made a big stop.
Chloe Ritz center now. Serving it up. Is the answer? Yes, it is. Tip ball, and the point goes to the Vikings. They win set 3, 29. Welcome back to Tampa, Florida. We are headed to set number 4 as Western Washington. Debbie really showing about teamwork, went right down to the end. Some great play on both sides.
And they showed a lot of grit, and we finally saw a little bit of offensive rhythm out of this team. You can see a couple of the better plays in that set. They got tougher at the service line, too. That was a huge way for them to finish that set because serving has been a struggle early in this match.
So set number 4. And in this Western Washington, I believe we'll have the serve. We'll see here in a second, though.
You could speculate that the fact that the Vikings had, a quicker, less contested match yesterday, they weren't as battle-tested coming into this semifinal.
Right.
Washburn certainly had all they could handle with West Texas A&M. And maybe that didn't get some of the work in that they needed to get a flow going here. I know Coach Flick Williams talked about the fact that since their regional, they'd had only 2 hours of practice. And, they got a little serve and pass in here, but that's really not that much work.
That's
so
not that much at all.
May have been a reflection of how this match started.
That third set had 11 ties, 5 lead changes, and it was a great one to watch. So here we are, set number 4. Again, the Vikings need this to go all the way to the end in order to have tomorrow come and an opportunity to play for a championship. Washburn just needs to win one more to close this out. The winner will take on the winner of Gannon and Tampa, and that is scheduled for 7:30 following this match.
Well, they didn't win that first point, but there is a different feeling on the Viking side of the floor now. It's almost like
they woke up.
Yep, they're ready to go. We're playing a match.
Great job. A little bit more hop in everyone's step right now. Burgess had trouble with that double team facing her at the antenna here, and point goes back to Washburn, 2-0 now.
Now on the flip side, looking at Washburn, they play through that tough central region. just getting out of that region is an accomplishment. So they've been battle tested as well. I think we're in for a really good finish to this match.
Callie Heilborn, the first teamer, had so many double-doubles. Over 20 on the season. Rich Sender now back to serve. 2-1. Gotta go chase it down. Great spot.
Well, we haven't seen a lot of Washburn on the run and serve receive and see what the opportunities that creates for the Vikings. And you know, I know this is what Diane Flick-Williams has been waiting for the whole match, is to get a little tougher at the service line and create opportunities.
Maxwell and her teammates are happy. It's 2-all. She blesses herself as she leaves the court. That's classic.
This is a tough out here.
Yep. Just a little bit more ups to get over the top. Berg's trying to adjust to get it over the top of Fairchild. Heilborn. Rottinghouse is there. Woodruff. Aliaga tried to knock it over, and she does. She gets the point, 3-all.
That was very heads up by Aliaga. She couldn't, it was too tight. She couldn't set it. So I think if there'd been a player there, she would have jousted it, but she just put it away.
3-all. Drops in. Allison Sandler back to serve now. Sadler. One of the many seniors on this Ichabod squad. And the point, 4-all. Stevenson just couldn't control the velocity of that ball. Comes right across it. Aliaga doesn't have an answer for it. A tip ball, a point for the Ichabods.
Gordon works so hard in transition. She got 2 big swings there because of that. That ball came back to her fast, but she works really hard in transition.
Jenna Berg to serve. Up 1. Not for long, though. Cassie Woodruff, the sophomore. Been a key piece for the Vikings the last 2 seasons. And the freshman Patchell out of Nebraska to serve, up 6-5. Maxwell knew exactly where she was going with that ball.
Well, and she's another one that works really hard to make herself available in transition. She gets off the net quick, gets right back into that 3 zone, and she just doesn't have much block in front of her.
7-5. Washburn. Look out.
Gordon's been so good today. She's tied for second in kills on the team with 11. She and Jenna Berg with 11. Allison Maxwell with 12. We talk about the balance. Right across the net, it's very even in the number of kills these players have.
No way, says Maxwell, is it going to get around me? And a time. Welcome back to Tampa, Florida. Washburn up 9-5 here in the fourth. Patchell continues to serve. Washburn leading 2-1. Service error goes back to the Vikings.
Good timeout, Coach. You always feel like Coach of the Year when you call a timeout and they miss their serve.
Right. Tupologo comes back in to serve for the Vikings. The steady server. Nice job by Berg in the back. And a big swing and a hit there by Kelsey Gordon once again. We've been mentioning Kelsey's name quite frequently.
And she's mostly been attacking the cross-court right back area, and the Vikings just haven't had an answer for it.
Taylor Antonowicz back to serve now. Up 10-6, make that 11. Senior from Newton, Kansas. Has been a big part of the program at Washburn now since stepping on the court her freshman year. Also a kinesiology major, and she's figuring it out right now as the Ichabod's up by 6.
Again, attacking that right back area has been effective.
Really been consistent, especially with Allison Maxwell. Going the opposite way, just out. Gabby Gunterman back now, the junior. Looks over to the bench. Oh, great job. (13-7).
Not sure what happened there. Definitely a miscue.
Jalen Stevenson now trying to connect a flurry of some points here, and a good job at the net. Of course, Maxwell was in the midst of that. Gunterman, Aliaga. Free ball. Whoa! Just out. Heilborn with a big swing, and it just barely missed. Stevenson, a business administration major. And it's starting to get away. Diane Flick-Williams will call a time. Chris Herron will talk to anybody right now who will listen, right? Especially when you're a coach in this type of a setting right now. You want to talk to somebody, but you really don't want to talk to anybody, right?
Yeah, he's intense, and you can tell right now he just wants to get this over with.
Gotta love coaches. 16-7 here in the fourth. Leah Secondo, Deb Hedrick, and our entire crew here in Tampa. So glad you could join us tonight for the first of two here on NCAA.com. The semifinals of the D2s in volleyball from Tampa, Florida. A great setting. Can't say it enough. Just the venue here at the University of Tampa. And these two teams vying for that opportunity to play one more day.
And we see the 6-2 coming in, so Diane Flick-Williams looking for a little bigger block, maybe a little more offense right now again.
Maxwell. Ooh. You know, Gunterman was prepared for it. She knew it was coming right down at her.
I would say she's the emotional leader of the group.
Totally. So she's getting tired herself. She just took a big puff there.
She's burned an extra 300 or 400 calories just with the celebrating.
Yeah. Faith Rottinghouse back in to serve, up 17-8. And it's long. It didn't look like Cassidy Pfeiffer actually, or excuse me, not Cassidy Pfeiffer, my bad. Kylie Hunrud was square.
Well, it's tough when it's coming from that far off the net. It was a really tough out for her.
10-point lead. Vikings need to figure this out here. Fairchild has been so good up front. It's just 1 point, but she has been solid at the net for the Vikings. Tip ball. Everybody going after it. Berg tries to save it. She does. The set back up. And there she goes. Nice when you can answer back, and Fairchild does, the junior from Olympia, Washington. Tess Biscuit comes back in. Biscuit up front. And we'll have stoppage of play once again for a little bit of perspiration on the court.
It's an interesting choice of music.
It's right next to us here. We'll have to. It's gone. A big break. 5 points away is Washburn right now to advancing to the championship.
At the end of that last set and the first part of this set, it really felt like Western Washington was getting it going, but I think they put a little pressure on Washburn, and Washburn pushed back harder.
Feeling it once again. The whole feel in the gym right now has changed a little bit on Washburn's side. Point back to the Vikings. Here's Berg. Nice job by Woodruff. Niagara setting up Gunterman. Rottinghouse. And Gordon, and it's in. It's in.
Talk about how much she hits the cross-court shot, but she can rip the line too. And, you know, that's the great thing about the slide. It's hard to know exactly where to set the block. It's harder to set the block against the slide. And then if you have an attacker that can hit every angle.
What a save. Nice job there by Berg. The setup for Biscup. Here's Berg. Aliaga keeps it alive. Gunterman with a hard one. It ricochets, still playable. Nice rally here by both sides. (23-10). This is a Washburn team 14 years ago. Defeated Tampa in 5 sets in the quarterfinals before falling to Western Washington 3-1 in the semis 14 years ago. You have to think about the age of these student athletes back then. And now they're just 1 point away to playing for the national championship.
I like to think about the age of myself back then.
Right? That's a fact. Match point for Washburn. Tip ball, the season's still alive.
Nice.
Put it in Tess's hands.
Nice high swing off the block.
Absolutely. Taking a breath are the Washburn players. The Vikings zoned in. They go to Gordon, and Washburn is headed to the championship.
Well, in 2018, this is the round in which they were eliminated, and you know this has to feel good for Coach Heron and his staff and those super seniors that are now going to go on and play in the national championship.
Nothing for Western Washington to hang their heads about at all, Debbie. What a tremendous squad and a group of players with so much talent on their side as well.
Yeah, they really, I thought that they kind of had it going there and we're going to be able to take this thing the distance, but Washburn's just on a mission, and they really brought both the offensive and defensive side the best of their game tonight, and it'll be whoever they play tomorrow. It's going to be a heck of a match.
It'll be the winner of Coach Heron's squad, and Washburn taking on either Gannon or Tampa. That match is scheduled 45 minutes from the moment we go off the air, so go grab some popcorn and something to drink, grab that good blanket if you're somewhere cold, and get ready. It'll be a great one between the top seed top seed Tampa and Gannon coming up here shortly, but congratulations to Washburn as they move on to the championship. That'll do it from Tampa, Florida, for my